Hi, Kenneth. The US administration wants to revive US shipbuilding, and they're proposing to levy fees on Chinese built ships entering into US ports. What's going to be the impact on Chinese shipping companies, and will they be put at a disadvantage versus competitors?
Hey John, our scenario analysis suggests that a Chinese-built container ship operated by a Chinese liner could incur annual levies of more than $35 million by 2028. That translates to a cost increase of 35% for Chinese operators versus just 0 to 8% rather for non-Chinese operators. Under the proposed changes, Chinese shipping could be more precisely targeted, with China-based container liners such as COSCO and Orient Overseas facing significant cost disadvantages versus peers such as HMM, Maersk, Hapag-Lloyd, and Wanhai.
Now, there's been a lot of uncertainty created with the US tariffs, the trade war between China and the US. What's been the impact on freight rates?
The Shanghai Containerized Freight Index has already lost 46% since January, which was partly attributable to the seasonal slowdown in the wake of the pre-Lunar New Year cargo rush. But importantly, rates never rebounded like they usually do a few weeks after, and that largely reflects how the rapid escalation in US-China trade tensions has hurt the demand for Chinese exports. While freight rates for cargoes departing China are likely to slide further, those for shipments bound for the US from other key trading partners, such as Southeast Asia, may instead find support from exporters' efforts to capitalize on the 90-day tariff pause and front-load more goods into the US. Latest data indicates that the number of US-bound containers from China has already plunged 45% since April 18th, and that's just in the past 2 weeks. So that suggests that freight rates for shipments on the Trans-Pacific route are likely to remain under pressure in the coming months unless the two countries work out a new trade deal.
Now, China dominates the global shipbuilding industry. Are these measures enough to make US shipbuilding great again?
So a revival of the US shipbuilding industry would likely require much more than the proposed levies targeting China. US shipbuilders rank 15th globally with a mere 0.1% market share of the world's current order book across all vessel types, and that compares with China's 63.9%. If we zoom into container ships and tankers, Chinese shipbuilders control an even larger 72.7% and 70.7% of the respective order books compared to the US, again with a share of under 1%. Now, the problem is constructing a shipyard, staffing it with skilled workers, and producing ships on a commercially viable scale could easily take more than 10 years. While the USTR proposal aims to finance these investments using the fees collected from shipping companies, that still leaves the issue of rapidly raising a huge pool of trained workers, which is something unlikely to be accomplished under the proposal alone.
Now, the US has enlisted the help of its allies, South Korea and Japan, with its shipbuilding revival bid. How big a role can these two countries play?
South Korea and Japan are actually well positioned to come to the aid of the US, especially since they are the world's second and third largest shipbuilders after China. However, their role is unlikely to involve building ships for the US per se, as most of their major shipyards already have order books stretching through 2028. The two countries might instead help by investing in US shipyards that haven't been commercially productive for years, and also by bringing technological know-how and expertise on board. That might help to raise the efficiency level of US shipyards and bring them closer to what's considered commercially viable. But we will need to bear in mind that the issue of cost competitiveness would remain, as US shipbuilding workers might cost significantly more than their South Korean and Japanese counterparts.
And lastly, are we seeing shipping companies pull back new orders from Chinese shipyards?
At the moment, we have yet to see data points that could confirm a drop in new order demand at Chinese shipyards. However, we have noticed that prices of new bulk vessels produced in China have been trading at a widening discount to the same vessels produced in Japan, which could indicate the USTR proposal might already have begun to hurt demand for new vessel orders at Chinese shipyards. In other words, there are early signs that ship owners might have started to look for longer-term alternatives just in case the USTR proposal does get pushed through.
Kenneth, thank you for your insights.
My pleasure.